Hello, this is Gail. I'm teaching gentle yoga for low back care. Actually, it's upper and lower back care. It used to be called low back care, but now it's all over the back, okay? And this is a beginner's class. You do need gear for this class, but you can do the class without the gear. We recommend a strap, a yoga strap, or a long towel, a cat or dog leash, a tie, and then a yoga block. But you can also like roll up a towel to kind of make it a nice cushion, or take a couch pillow and fold it in half. But one of our postures, block bridge pose, wow. If you have a yoga block, man, that is best thing since sliced bread. Okay, that's my opinion, of course. So we're going to get started. This class can be done seated or on the yoga mat. I'm standing up and moving this front chair out of the way. And in Veterans Yoga Project, we do 5 things in the class. They are breathing, mindful movement, meditation, guided rest, relaxation, and that gratitude practice. And we try to get that all in this class. I will come back up to the camera for that guided rest and relaxation and the gratitude practice. We'll do a few little Tai Chi moves at the very end just to kind of get all the excess energy out. But today we're going to start either seated on the chair if you're doing the seated version today, or lying on your back with your knees bent. So I'm going to come on over the chair. I use the chair to get down to the floor because I have spicy back challenges and I have a knee that doesn't like to cooperate. So I'm going to move my mat a little bit more close to the camera. Very good. And again, I've got my strap and my block close by. And I have a wasp in the room. Let me move that wasp away. Okay, very good. Not a good thing when you're teaching yoga. Let's go ahead and lie on our backs, knees bent. So this is called constructive rest posture. So those of you that have any kind of rotation in the disc, maybe it's retrolisthesis or scoliosis, you might feel this is kind of odd to lie on your back. It is for me. It's kind of spicy. So I grab my wrist and roll my shoulder up and away, and it makes it feel a little bit more comfortable to lie here on the yoga mat. And I do the same with the other side. And then sometimes where your bottom parts of your body are lying on the yoga mat, maybe that doesn't feel comfortable either. So you can walk the feet towards the behind, lift up, and then roll back on down. So I have some weird things going on with my L3, L4, low, spine bones. And so I don't do bridge pose without a little bit of support because my back will kind of pop and crack when I do that. So I'm very careful in what I do. So we're going to do the breathing first. So hands on the belly or hands out to the side. And when I do hands on the belly, I find kind of where the belly button is, and then I place another hand below that. That's the dantian in Tai Chi. And what we'll do is breathe in and let the low belly expand. So let's do that. And as you exhale, just let the belly fall towards the floor or towards the back of the chair. And again, inhale, low belly out. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. Get all that air out of the lungs. Again, breathe in, belly big, and exhale. And one of the things we can also do to kind of get out of the brain and get into our bodies is to feel your feet on the floor, whether you're lying here in constructive rest posture or seated on the chair. So I invite you to press your feet kind of firm into the floor. That kind of activates the musculature in the hips, in the thighs, stuff around the knees. So again, feel your feet into the floor, press into the floor. And again, breathe in, belly out. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. Still press firmly into the ground as best you can with what you got. Breathe in and breathe out. And then relax all that pressure into the ground. One of the postures we do is called the notice pose. So we're going to take a leg all the way to the edge of the yoga mat, extend your leg out, also seated on the chair, and do the other one. So you're going to notice, okay, how does this feel being on the floor, lying on your back? You might feel a lot of sensation in the hip area, in the upper back where the calves hit, or the feet, the back of the knees, the thighs, and just kind of note how that feels for you at this moment, because we're going to see if it changes throughout the class. Now squeeze the belly button towards the spine, slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, and then the other, and then we'll grab our yoga strap. So again, in this particular class, it's recommended we have a strap and a block. that's a way to effectively ease back challenges. So we're going to lift one of our legs off the floor and bring the strap along the bottom of the foot. We're going to do big toe hold. So what I invite you to do is have the foot be in the air, whether you're seated. You can be on the back of the heel if you're doing this seated. I like that one when we're seated in the chair. And leg in the air, maybe a bend in the knee because maybe the hamstring feels kind of tight today. We're going to take one hand on either side of that strap and pull on that strap. Now to make it a more effective contraction, we're also going to push into that strap. So heel flex, toes towards you. Make sure those toes are in alignment with the top of the shin, the knee. And when you contract the major muscle groups and hold the position for 30 seconds to 112 seconds, that invites the muscles to stimulate bone growth. So this is an osteopenia, osteoporosis prevention posture, bone building. It's also one of our yoga poses for easing back challenges. You may have noticed the low back and mid back pressing firmly into the floor when we pull and push. Now, those of us with grip challenges, this may be like, oh, I can't hold and pull and push. Maybe you bring your hands up the strap or down the strap, whatever the case might be. Wrap your wrist around the strap and then re-engage, pull, push. You may also notice your upper back muscles being facilitated in this posture, your biceps, your triceps, your forearms, your elbows, your hands. Again, make sure the toes are kind of aligned with the top of the ankle, the shin, the knee. The foot's not flaring out to the side. Now, the other foot, what is it doing? It's doing nothing. So let's tap, tap, tap that other foot. A little vibrational energy going on there. And we're going to drop that knee out to the side. It's called half of a windshield wiper. And seated in the chair, you just kind of bring that leg out to the side for a little counterbalance. Leg that's in the air, go ahead and drop it out to the side. So we're kind of working big toe hold out to the side in that hip musculature, in that hip socket. Again, look at your foot. Did it flare out? Mine usually does. I got to realign it. And I'm pulling and pushing like vigorously. And I mean like my hands are starting to fall asleep. It's kind of, very strong feeling. We're going to be out of the pose in just a bit. So see if you can stay here, please, 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 for that 30-second mark, okay? That means I get to talk more. And hopefully both back sides of the buns are on the floor. Sometimes that opposite hip rolls up if I go too deep in this leg out to the side yoga posture. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. Yay! Bring it back to the center. Release the strap, the favorite part of that pose. Let's clap the hands and rub kind of back and forth into the palms of the hands. Get some feeling going back on there, and then rub it into the fingers. That's good for circulation. Very good. Now, just kind of bear with me here, okay? We're going to do wrist spinning. So basically, wrist circles here. That's good for carpal tunnel. So we're not doing like stiff hands. Try to have it originate from the wrist. My left one doesn't do as good as the right one. I noticed that. And then let's reverse it. Spin it the other way. This is one of our chair Tai Chi movements, by the way. But it's good for getting some feeling back in the hands. I love it. Woo! All right, now we're going to do the other side. So yay. Lift the other foot off the yoga mat. Bring that strap along the bottom of the foot. And then extend that leg. Now, again, if you're on the chair, back of the heel can rest on the floor when you do this, okay? Don't lift it up in the air. Just kind of be easy peasy here. All right, we're going to pull on that strap and then bend the knee. I like to bend the knee and push the strap away. And I've got a very vigorous hold on here. Now, I have my back of my arms up off the ground. If I wanted to, I could slide my hands here and rest the back of the arms, and that would facilitate a little bit more upper back strengthening. So kind of depends what you want to do. But I typically will wrap my wrist around and then hold it. That way I can really vigorously pull it towards me, and I'm vigorously pushing it away. If it's too spicy for the back of the knee, bend the knee a little bit, but man, oh man, you're going to feel it in your calf, maybe a little bit more in the side hip musculature when you bend that knee. So it's like, okay, feeling a little something different there when I went towards a little micro bend in the knee. That's okay. And again, look at your feet. Let's make sure those toes align with the top of the ankle, the shin. It's not flaring out to the side. And are you still pulling? I'm going to assume that you are. Woo! And yes, my hands are getting ready to fall asleep, but I know it's not going to take too long. We're going to finish this in just, half a minute. So I'm trying to do my best here that I can. From here, the other foot, tap, tap, tap that other foot. Get some vibrational energy going on here. I love this part right here. And then we're going to drop the knee out to the side. So that's your counterweight. So both back sides of the buns are on the floor. Now, leg in the air, let's drop it out to the side. Now, I'm trying to keep both buns, back side of the buns, on the yoga mat. So I don't want that opposite hip to raise up and I come down to the floor. Because I'm really trying to be vigorous into that hip joint, okay? Now, again, check. Foot aligned with the top of the foot, the ankle, the shin, the knee. Yep, yep, yep. If not, please place it there. You might feel a little more spice, maybe. And if you can think about it, well, let's do it. Breathe in, low belly, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards the spine. Sometimes that deep breath makes it more spicy. So you kind of have to decide, am I going to go for the spice or am I, I don't know. You can do what you need to here, yeah? Again, are you pulling and pushing? I'm going to think that you are, yes. Woo! Hello, back of the calf, or the calf, back of the knee, the hamstring, the quadricep, the knee, the shin, bottom of the foot, my hands. What about your hands, yeah? Now from here, bring everything back to the center. Release the strap. Yay. Favorite part of that yoga posture. Clap the hands. Oh, my hands feel kind of dead now. Okay, clap them again. And really press into the palms as if you're, I don't know, trying to smush something. I'm trying to think, what would you be smushing? I don't know. Maybe you're making meatballs. I don't know. And then rub into the fingers. Get some circulation back in those fingers. I love it. From here, let's do some ankle isolation. Now, those of you seated in the chair, you can bring the strap underneath the knee pit or fingers underneath the knee pit. Those of us lying on our back, squeeze the belly button towards the spine, lift a leg up and off. I'm pulling my yoga pant to do that. And I'm inviting the knee in towards my chest. So I'm trying to see, is the leg into my side hip, the hip crease, the side torso, my ribs. So I'm noticing my range of motion here, my natural range of motion. In the chair, this is kind of spicy, so just do what you can. Now we're going to point and flex the foot. And you may feel some little crinkly things going on here. This helps you to have better balance, better walking ability when you isolate that ankle joint. So it's good stuff here. Or maybe it's bad stuff. I don't know. And then ankle circles. That's usually where I feel everything just kind of doing weird movements, yeah? Let's see, I had a 3rd-degree sprain on this foot, so it's still, and it's been years, there's still some very tight feelings going on here. And reverse, if you've stubbed your toe, if you were in combat boots, if you were in steel-toe shoes, you kind of get your feet cast into a shoe, and your foot may not be, like it was when it was a baby, okay? And then relax this foot and bring it down. Let's do the other side. So invite the other one in towards your chest. Now, you're going to notice, okay, first side, how close was that to your chest? So for me on the second side, this is into my side torso. It's past the hip crease into the side torso, almost into the low ribs. So I definitely have a different range of motion one side versus the other. Now, if you've got back challenges, you might find this to be true. One side feels different than the other. So let's point and flex that foot up, shall we? Ooh, this one's noisy. Now, I've had foot surgery on this one, so it's like, they're not the same. They got different things going on. And you'll notice this also in your balance postures. If you're doing standing balance postures, one side, maybe you're able to do that tree pose really well, and the other one you're like doing the dance of the foot, yeah? So from here, ankle circles. Oof. Again, mine's pretty noisy. Not that it hurts, but it makes a weird little sound, yeah? And reverse. So why do we work the feet? It's the base of the body. It's up, at the bottom of the chain. You don't do work with your feet, that can affect pain up the body, in your low back, in your upper back. And then release this foot down to the floor. Let's do the notice pose, see if there's any difference now. So again, extend one leg. I'm going to shake it a little bit. and extend the other. I'm going to shake it also a little bit. I'm going to shake my hips a bit, shake my chest, shake my feet. And I don't feel as tightly held in my kind of my hip complex as I was before. The upper back feels a little bit more relaxed into the floor also. Okay, we're going to lubricate the hips and the knees just a little bit more. So again, bring the feet back onto the yoga mat in that constructive rest posture. So if you can get down to the floor, onto the bed, onto the couch, laying on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor, arms out to the side, or resting on your torso for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, that can release a lot of deeply held tension in your spine. So don't take my word for it. Try it. We're going to, again, bring the strap along the bottom of the foot, and then invite the knee in towards the chest. So what this one entails is extending the leg and bringing the leg back in. So here we go. Let's breathe in, belly big. Exhale, extend that leg out. Now maybe your leg is comfortable being more towards you. Maybe it's comfortable being more far away. And then with the inhale breath, bring the knee into the chest. Exhale, leg away. Breathe in. Breathe out. So this is part of the mindful movement, the meditation kind of process. When you breathe with your movement, it lowers your cortisol, which is the kind of the stress hormone that's linked to increased belly fat. So there's like a scientific reason for doing yoga. You might, if you're using the strap, you might be able to bring it lower, challenge your lower abdominals, and then, of course, you're able to bring it back. So sometimes I go a little bit more towards the floor than I would normally do if I didn't have that strap. And I engage the low core, just kind of draw the belly button and below towards the spine. Now, as we inhale, belly big. As we exhale, contract the belly button. Very nice. Let's do 2 more. Snap, crackle, pop going on in my knees and my hips today. And then 1 more. And then just kind of, we're going to bring that foot down and switch over to the other side. I got to kind of move around to make that happen. And then I'm going to notice where this leg feels comfortable. So it feels more comfortable, more towards me than the other one did. So again, you kind of notice these little subtleties going on. So from here, again, inhale, knee into chest. Exhale, leg out. Woo. Inhaling. Move it in towards your chest. Exhale. I feel a little spice in my upper back at this moment. So I'm going to do this a little slower for me. I'm listening to the breath as I bring it in through the nostril tips. And then listening to it as I bring it out through the nose or through the mouth. And also sometimes listening to the breath going in and out kind of gets you away from that monkey mind where you're thinking about 10 other things or have a song stuck in your head. So listening to the breath helps facilitate a little bit less going on in the brain. And again, you may be noticing some things going on around the knee, the meniscuses, maybe some little hip poppy joint things. If it hurts, then you're going to do less. But if it's just a sound, or a kind of thing that you're feeling and it's okay, maybe you can keep doing that. Let's do 2 more. Woo. And 1 more. All right, and we're going to release the strap. And release the foot down to the floor. Yay. Next is, make sure your block is close by, your strap is close by, is piriformis bounce. Now, for some of you that are seated, you might find some constriction with this. Well, first level is to cross the ankle on top of the other ankle, knee out to the side. This is where you would need that strap underneath, though, because when you pull, you want to bounce your piriformis, you pull the leg towards you and away. But if you're able to bring the ankle on top of the thigh, you don't necessarily have to have that strap underneath the bend of the knee, but that, it's nice when you're seated in the chair. Those of us lying on the ground, we're basically pushing the leg away. So we're kind of warming up the piriformis muscle. So I like to do reclined pigeon because it really gets into those hips but it gets into it in a way that I'm not going to overdo it, or at least I hope I'm not going to overdo it. There's a hip pigeon where we have the hands and our torso is facing the floor. We bring a knee up in between the hands, but a lot of people can't do that one safely. So I like this one, also because it was recommended on the list for, for reducing back pain. Okay. So from here, I'm going to bounce 2 more times. 1, 2. Very good. And then I'm going to take that bottom foot, whether I'm seated on the chair or lying on my back, tap, tap, tap that bottom foot, and then press the bottom foot vigorously into the floor. So all that's kind of activated that bottom leg. Top leg, point the toes towards your knee. Maybe you're squeezing both buns, and then maybe you can push the top leg away, or I like to use that yoga block and push it away. So again, I'm vigorously pushing into the floor, top toes towards my knee, all the things around my knees and my calves are activated, squeezing buns, pushing top leg away. So I'm getting into the hip musculature different because the legs are at different angles here. But, feeling some stuff going on here. Woo! Now, if you're seated in a chair, you're hinging forward and probably feeling it in the opposite behind. Be tall, seated in the chair, as you hinge forward, whether you've got it crossed at the ankle or on top of your other leg. And toes towards your knees, maybe hands on the foot, hands on the knee if you're seated. Again, think about lengthening up and hinging forward when you're seated on the chair, doing this same yoga posture. Same but different, yeah? Woo! And release. Wow, okay, relax the foot, relax everything, bounce, bounce, bounce. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's do a little lymphatic drainage with this leg. Bring that leg up into the air, whether you're seated or laying on the floor, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Shake it side to side. Very good. And release that down to the floor. Let's do the other side. So bring the other one, either, again, cross at the ankle bone or leg on top. Make sure the ankle's past your thigh so you're not knobbing yourself, okay? We're going to bounce the other one. Notice if it's more bouncy. More bouncy? Sure, more bouncy. So, I've been teaching, this is my 24th year to teach yoga, and there was a point in time when I was using a walker. My pain was severe with that back pain. I was thinking, man, I'm a yoga teacher. What am I doing that's causing this? And I went and took additional training, and this training was gentle yoga for back care. And apparently, some of the yoga postures that I was doing was causing what they call asymmetry. In other words, symmetry is the same, asymmetry is not the same. And because of all my back issues, it was getting really aggravated. So I stopped doing those yoga poses and started doing them in a manner that was more safe. So this is what this class is about. It's not a vigorous class. You may be going, wow, it's super slow. But this is kind of more like yoga therapy than it is that kind of thing. So again, we're going to make everything still. We're going to take that bottom foot, tap, tap, tap. I just thought I'd share some of my story with you, okay? And then press into that bottom foot. And I feel my behind kind of slipping away, so it's kind of lengthening my yoga mat there. And then take the top toes, point them towards your knee, squeeze top bun, squeeze bottom bun, and press with either your own musculature the leg away, or again, I like to use yoga block. I just, press on it a little bit. And again, I'm vigorously pushing into the bottom leg, top foot, heel flex, toes towards my knee, woo, whether it's at the ankle or on top of the thigh. And so I'm getting into, the other side, okay? Yay, or not. Keep breathing. It's feeling a little spicy. Now, sometimes when I'm in a yoga posture, it's spicy. I'll return my attention to my breath. I'll listen to it going in through the nose, stay in the pose, and then exhale slowly, slowly, slowly. So sometimes that listening to the breath redirects your senses, allows you to stay in a yoga posture. Sometimes, nope, it doesn't work. So you back off a little bit, okay? Woo! And release. Yay. Let everything soften. Bounce that leg again. Sometimes I take my yoga block and bounce, or pull it towards you if you're seated in the chair. Don't go vigorous here. It's just a little bit of a movement, all right? Sometimes that sciatica gets stuck in that piriformis muscle or kind of clenched to the side or in the pelvic notch. This is also great for easing sciatica, okay? So pigeon pose and all the prep stuff we do for it, that's good for the kind of helping with that issue. And bring that leg up in the air, shake it, wiggle it. Ooh, shake it some more. This one's kind of stiff. And again, once again, and then release it down. Let's do one more yoga posture before we transition in a different way. It's windshield wipers. So we're going to take one of our legs. Now, if you're seated in the chair, feet on the yoga blocks, and you come up on the balls of the feet. And you can come up on the balls of the feet lying here, but I prefer flat feet. We're going to drop the knee out to the side. Ooh, sometimes that's kind of spicy, so I'll take that yoga block underneath just to rest. So we're on the side of the foot. And then take that top leg, drop it towards the bottom leg. So it's a low lumbar twist. You may be feeling lots of kind of a lengthening, kind of clenching sensation happening in that kind of the curve of the booty. Maybe you're feeling it also in the low abdominals. And there's a little bit of the behind off the yoga mat. So we're going to squeeze our belly button towards the spine, take the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center, and I grab my yoga pant to make that happen. Let's do the other side. So we're going to drop the leg out to the other side. Now, I don't need that yoga block on this side. That's one thing I noticed about my body. And then drop that top leg towards the bottom leg. And so for me on this side, more of my behind is off the yoga mat in that low lumbar twist. And again, if it's kind of spicy, return your attention to your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. I let that belly get big as I inhale. You breathe like you were when you were a baby, and exhale. We have turned into chest breathers, which can cause anxiety, heightened awareness, that kind of thing. So when we bring it more low on our body, that helps us go away from the sympathetic into the parasympathetic. In other words, away from fight or flight into rest and relax kind of mode. Contract the belly button towards the spine. Bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. You know it. We got to do notice pose. Let's see what this has done for us today. So extend one leg all the way down. Kind of shake it out if you need to. Same thing if you're seated on the chair. You're not going to notice it much seated on the chair, but maybe you do. Shake those feet, wiggle those hips, wiggle the chest, and then just kind of place yourself there on that yoga mat. Notice what you notice. Is there more opening feeling in the hip complex? Do you feel your legs kind of splaying out more comfortably? What about the shoulders? What about the mid-back? Mid-back's not changing anything for me at this moment. Okay, checking our time here. Let me see here. Okay, so we're going to squeeze the belly button towards the spine, slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, and then the other. And then I have SI joint dysfunction, so when I roll over in the bed, I get lots of searing pain because my joints are not in alignment. So for me, I lift up first, then I twist. Okay? And then the hand that's in front of you and the leg that's on top, you can extend that top leg, press into that hand in front of you, come up to your forearm. And sometimes we can get dizzy feelings when we come up off the floor. Just take a moment here in this, kind of the plane. If it's not affecting you, then you come all the way back on up. And again, sometimes coming up, to seated is like, woo, the room is spinning, or there's some little movement going on. And I'll take my yoga blanket and I fold it, have it in a kind of a horizontal or, rectangular shape. And I'll fold it into thirds so I get a little bit of height going on here. And for me, I feel like more curvy towards the floor, so it's not good posture for me. So by sitting on the edge of the yoga blanket, that helps facilitate my hips to kind of tilt forward, allows me to breathe a little bit deeper. So again, I've got some spice going on in the inside of that right leg, so I have to feel, I'm going to have that leg be in front today. Sometimes you can have the blocks underneath the knees if you're feeling some kind of like, that feels kind of icky, all right? So that makes it feel better. So you kind of play around with the blocks. I would get two, one for each side, and the heights, especially because guys tend to have more knees towards the center than ladies having more towards the floor. So we just kind of have some unique stuff going on there. So we're going to do seated cat-cow, whether you're on the chair, whether you're sitting here, or if you prefer to transition on the hands and knees, you can do that, but I'm going to teach you the flowy cat-cow, a more safe on hands and knees version. So from here, hands on the shins, and we're going to breathe in, belly big. And as we exhale, contract the belly button and curve your spine to the back of the room, to the back of the chair. And I keep my chin looking forward. I don't drop it towards my chest or make it go sky high. That's too much excessive neck curvature going on here. So I just keep my eyeballs looking forward. Very good. Now breathe in, belly big, and then exhale, come up to a tall seated mountain. So there's a little sneaky pelvic tilt happening in here, which is also easing back challenges. The next one is more of a hinge type thing. So we breathe in, belly big, and I take my elbows out and hinge forward. I'm going to move that block. See if I can hinge a little bit. Oh yeah, that feels better. So again, I kind of have my eyes looking forward, not up, not down, just kind of ears kind of aligned with the top of my shoulders, not too much excessive curvature in the cervical spine, the neck area. Again, belly soft, breathe in. Now contract that belly button, come back to tall seated mountain. Very good. So it's kind of a neutral position. Go ahead and wiggle those shoulders a little bit. Shift side to side. Ooh, that's kind of spicy. The side of my body is like grabbing me today. But again, that's part of my weird curve that's going on with my spine. We're going to do what's called an unsupported twist. Whoa. Well, don't we need to support our twist? No, not in back yoga. So supported twist means you're taking a hand out to the side and then you crank into a twist. But if you got back challenges, don't do that, folks, okay? That might make more pain happen for you. So we're going to let the thoracic spine do the work. First, we go to letter W with our arms. So we're squeezing the shoulders kind of like in towards that middle of the spine, if that makes sense. And then we're going to let the thoracic spine, the mid part of the spine, do the work. So we're going to breathe in, belly big. Now as we contract the belly button towards the spine, let's turn towards one direction. Now the chin stays aligned with the chest. So that's an unsupported twist. All the work is happening by you, not by a lever, okay? Breathe in, belly big, and then exhale back to the center. Now release the shoulders, sometimes holding those shoulders like that. Even though it's strengthening the upper back musculature, it can be a little kind of like, that's too much. But, we're just taking a little micro break here. Now, back into it. Letter W, squeezy shoulders, belly soft, breathe in. And then let's go over to the other direction. Turn, 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 chin aligned with your chest. Did you turn more? Maybe. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center and release. Woo! Let's do alternate shoulders or alternative. You can say that one or two ways. Yeah. And then reverse. I can't quite do my shoulder rolls because my arms keep hitting the floor. That's okay. I do with that what I can. Next is going to be side body building. So you got, extension and flexion. You got the twist. Then you got to do the up and over type of thing. If you want to switch the legs, this is the time to do that. But I'm going to keep my legs here. So from here, let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Now you either are going to place the hand beside you or sneak it behind you. I like to sneak mine behind me. And then I reach up some more, belly big, contract the belly button, and then bring that side body over. So kind of feel it from that hip through the side musculature, through the armpit. Bring it back on up. Exhale, bring it down. We're going to do the same side again. So again, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. This time I'm putting the hand beside me. And then I'm going to wiggle my fingers, reach up. And then I'm going to inchworm over to the side and then kind of come over. But I'm going to reach up and over. So I go a little bit deeper. I'm bending that bottom elbow. Bring it back on up. I kind of inchworm back on up. And then exhale, bring it down. So it's like reaching the can on the top shelf in your pantry. Usually zucchini, right? So let's do that again. Other side. Breathe in, circle, sweep arms up. Now I'm going to sneak the other one back behind me, squeezing that shoulder, and then inhale, reach, 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 reach. And then exhale, lean that side body over. Oof. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back on top. Inhale, back on down. Little shoulder shrug here. We're going to do that again with the arm out to the side, or do what you just did, whatever you want to do. Breathe in, circle, sweep arms up. I'm going to bring the hand to the side, reach up and over. Reach, 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 reach. And bring it back on up. and down. So we have a few new folks in class today. Typically we go through like a range of yoga postures. I'm not sure we're going to get to everything that we typically get to, but again, these are all elements of easing back challenges. I do want to show you a safe way to do cat-cow. So you're in another instructor's class and you do have back challenges, revert to flowy cat-cow instead, because it lessens the excessive curvature in the upper back and the low back, the lower kyphosis and lower dosis. I know I'm not saying that right. But anyway, I use the blanket because my knees are kind of spicy. So I'm going to kind of bring it down here on the lower 1/3 of the yoga mat. And again, you can do this seated on a chair, but I want to show you the hands and knees version. So your typical cat-cow is hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, back goes to the sky, belly goes down. So you can kind of see where that might do some excessive curves on the upper and lower part of the body. Flowy cat-cow is forearms. You bring your hands more forward, come laying on your forearms, and then I do curly toes, but you can do flat feet if you like. But then I kind of inchworm my elbows towards my knees to where I can lower the behind towards my heels. And then I spread the arms out a little bit more wide. From here, the belly is soft. We're going to breathe in, drag yourself up to where your wrists are. Then contract your belly button. Peel your forearms off the yoga mat. Shift a little forward with a contracted belly button. Curve your spine to the top of the room. And then lower back down to finish out that exhale. And again, inhale, shift yourself forward. Exhale, start peeling your forearms off, contract your belly button, curve your spine to the back of the room. Again, breathe in, belly forward. Peel those forearms off, contract that belly button, come on down. One more time, breathe in, and then exhale. Now we're going to shift the hands back to underneath. We're going to do oppositional reach that strengthens the multifidi muscle, which is the deepest held layer of a back muscle. When it turns to fat, it recruits other muscles to do the work, therefore back pain. So we slide a hand way out, and then the opposite or the other foot way out, and I press my heel, feel a little calf contraction. Then breathe in, belly big. Exhale, contract that belly button, lift the heel, lift the arm. Woo! And then arm and leg come down, and then slide it back to the center. Let's do the other side. Did y'all feel your back? I think you did. Slide out that hand, fingertips, slide out the foot, heel flex. All right, belly soft, breathe in. Exhale, contract that belly button, lift the heel, lift the hand, reach, 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 reach. Woo! Arm and leg down, and then bring it back to the center. From here, let me think here. We're going to do block bridge. We're not going to stand up today, so go ahead and transition back into your chair. If you have a back on your chair, you can take your yoga block and place it in the back of the chair. If not, I would suggest getting on the couch to do block bridge because you don't want to miss out on this. It's really yummy, okay? So those of us here on the yoga mat, go ahead and lay down, go back to constructive rest pose. But you know what? Let's do notice pose before we do block bridge, shall we? So again, extend a leg, then the other. Kind of shake those feet, shake those hips, shake the shoulders. Notice what you notice, okay? All right, so you got that little snapshot going on. And then we're going to do a block bridge pose. So slide a foot onto the yoga mat, then the other. Okay. So again, I'm kind of moving my shoulders out of the way, kind of lifting my hips a bit. We're going to take that yoga block, and you either use your own muscular strength to lift your behind up, but again, for me, because my lower L3, L4 do funky things, I usually have my hand to assist to lift and then put that block underneath because it just feels really weird when I lift up on my own. Now I'm going to walk the shoulders away. So this is the pose you've been waiting for if you've never done this before, okay? So we've got this tension going on with the low back on that yoga block. Let's do a little bit of lymphatic drainage while we're here. So I invite you to bring a leg up into the air and just shake it. We got a lot of lymph nests in the back of the knee, in the iguanal crease. And so this helps to move the fluid out of the lymph areas and back into the body. And shake side to side, You have swelling in the feet, edema. So doing, an upside down pose, and basically that's what this is, doing a little shaking is going to help with that, all right? Now we're going to bring this leg down. You might feel some little sensation going on with the feet. Bring the other one up and shake it, shake it, shake it. Now if you're seated on the chair, you can still shake the legs, still do this part of the posture. You don't have a yoga block, you can do this without the yoga block, just being on your back and leg extended up into the air. You won't have that wonderful feeling you have after we finish this though, so shake it side to side. Side to side feels weird to me, but oh well. Now, if you can, grab your yoga block, lift the other leg up, and compete. Right versus left, okay? And side to side. Again, that feels weird to me, oh well. And again, shake, shake, shake. And if you can, bring the knees more towards you, palms of the hands, slap on the outside of the knees. That's for lessening knee pain. And you can tap in the back of the knee also, where a lot of lymph nodes hang out. Go back to shaking and wiggling. All right, bring one leg down, then the other. Press into the floor with the feet, squeeze those shoulders, lift up, bring the block out, roll the spine down. Notice what you notice. You may notice a lot of ease happening in the back side of the body, in the hip complex. Very good. Let me check our time here. We need to do a guided rest and relaxation part of class. But before we do that, let's do the windshield wipers again. So we're going to drop one knee out to the side and then take that other leg on top. So you may notice more of a low lumbar twist happening here. You may notice more range of motion. You may notice more feeling going on because you're doing more. Maybe, maybe not. Squeeze the belly button. Bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Let's do the other side. So drop the other leg out to the side and the top leg towards the bottom leg. Again, notice that lengthening sensation that might be happening here. Bring the leg back to center, then the other. Now from here, you can either have knees together, feet apart, or extend those legs out towards the corners of the yoga mat, hands resting on or off the belly. Or what some folks like to do, they can take the chair or go over to the couch and place their legs. So this is a nice one, again, for releasing back challenges. Kind of cartwheel my legs onto the chair. Now what I like about this is, I can cross at the ankles, so I know that leg's not going to flop down. It typically doesn't flop down. What I like about this one is I can kind of inchworm my low back away from the chair. So I've got this kind of traction feeling happening here, and it releases lots of tension that's being held. And usually maybe I'll take my straps, cover up my eyes, or a towel over my eyes, and hands out to the side, or bend at the elbows, hands on the belly. So part 2 for reducing daily chronic back pain is Yoga Nidra. So if you've not explored that, explore that here on the Veterans Yoga Project place. We'll do like a little miniature Yoga Nidra in this class, which is the guided rest and relaxation. Now, one more option. This could be legs on the couch, legs on the chair, or you can have your body be up against the wall. You have to have a wall space to do this. You come down to your elbows and kind of cartwheel your legs up the wall. Again, nice for releasing varicose veins, reducing edema, swelling. What I typically do if I'm doing legs on the wall is I'll take a yoga strap that's got a buckle and just kind of pull it a little bit to where I know they're not going to flop over one side or the other. And maybe I'll have a blanket underneath the low back, but this feels pretty comfortable here. So again, I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that might mean for you today. So you may need to wiggle one leg a little bit more out than the other. You may need to roll a shoulder up and away. And again, just get a little bit more comfortable. So in a Yoga Nidra class, yoga meditation, typically you may do a body scan. They may do a counted breath. They may do some visualizations. They may do some opposite contrasts, that type of thing. Again, it's to kind of release what's being held in the mind, in the body, just kind of let it go. So again, just kind of notice if there's areas in the body that feel kind of spicy still, or like lots of tension, that type of thing. And I invite you to breathe in through the nose, and then just think about that area that has tension. Command it to soften into the surface that's supporting you, or to just soften, release, and let go. So breathe in, belly big. Exhale. In that area, just release, let go, soften, relax into that surface. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, I'll name a place in the body, and I invite you to shift your attention to that place, and you'll say that place in your brain. You'll visualize it or imagine it, and then we'll move on to the next place in the body. So let's bring all of our attention, all of our awareness into that right hand thumb. Again, you're shifting your attention to your right hand thumb. You're thinking, you're visualizing right hand thumb. Index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Pinky finger. Top of the right hand. Bottom of the right hand. Right wrist. Forearm. Elbow. Upper arm. Right shoulder. Armpit. Right side chest. Right side waist. Right hip. Upper leg. Right knee. Shin. Top of the right foot. Sole of the right foot. Right big toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Fifth toe. I invite you to bring all of that awareness, all of that attention into the right places of your body, just the right places. Good. Now let's shift our attention over to the left side of our body, starting with that left thumb. Again, the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, bottom of the left hand, top of the left hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, left side chest, left side waist, hip, upper left leg, knee, shin, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Again, I invite you to notice all the places on the left side of your body, just the left side. Now shift all of your attention to the right places of the body. Let the left drop out. Just notice all the right places. And back to the left side, and then back to the right side. Good. Let's move on. Notice the surface that is supporting you. Notice the places where you are having pressure with the surfaces that support you. Maybe it's the bottom of the feet, calves, back of the legs, buttocks, upper back, low back, the entire length of the spine, right shoulder, left shoulder, back of the head. All those places where you feel that sensation of support, notice feeling very heavy, very weighted into those places of the body. Now, let's shift all that to the front places of the body, starting with the top of the head, right ear, left ear, right eye, left eye, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, the very top of the nose, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, right cheekbone, left cheekbone, the throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side chest, left side chest, lower right rib cage, lower left rib cage, the heart center, upper abdominals, the navel center, lower abdominals, right hip, left hip, the entire length of the right leg, the entire length of the left leg, the front places of the right arm, the front places of the left arm. Good. From here, just notice that you're breathing. Don't change it in any way. What does it feel like here to breathe in and to breathe out? Sometimes when we get a little bit more relaxed, our breath becomes a little bit more shallow, and that's okay. Again, breathing in, breathing out. Good. Let's come back into the now, back into the present moment. So let's start wiggling those fingers, those toes, moving those wrists, those ankles, those feet. If you're lying on your back, maybe you can bring a knee and the other knee into your chest and do a little side-to-side movement. If you're seated on the chair or on the yoga mat, maybe you can do those wide shoulder circles instead. So again, bring in a little bit of movement back into the body. And then let's pause and go the other way. Maybe you can bring the knees in. If you're seated, bring an opposite shoulder towards a knee. And then come back to the center. Maybe the knees away. If you're seated, take the other opposite shoulder towards a knee and back in. And if you're lying on your back, now I invite you to roll over onto your side and slowly come up to a seated place. Take your time. Again, shifting, equilibrium stuff can happen. In fact, all of us, bring your hands to heart center. Drop your chin towards your chest. That helps with those equilibrium imbalances. Plus, hugging into your chest is a grounding feeling, is a safe feeling, okay? And we'll do just a few little Tai Chi movements, seated Tai Chi movements to kind of come back into our body. So let's bring the hands to heart center. We're going to press the hands one direction and turn the head the other direction. Just kind of notice what's going on with your shoulders, with your neck, your range of motion. Then inhale back to the center. Contract your belly button. Exhale over to the other way. Very good. Come back to the center. Breathe in. Exhale the other direction. Last one. Inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the other side. Very nice. Next is a little bit for our opening up the side, neck, and the collarbone area, the cartoid. So we're going to take a hand out to the side and basically drop an ear towards the shoulder and then bring it down to the chest and over to the other side. So it's kind of like making a smile with your chin. Bring it back down to your chest and back over to the other side. And one more time, back to the center of the chest, over towards the arm side, and release. Now we're going to do the other side. So take the hand out to the side, turn the thumb, kind of press the palm to the back of the room, drop your opposite ear towards the shoulder, and then bring the chin towards the chest and over to the arm side, and then back to the chest, and then back over the opposite side. One more time, bring it back to the chest and over to the arm side, and again, back to the chest and over to the opposite side, and release. Very good. So we're going to end our class today. So I invite you to bring your hands to heart center, either stacked or on your heart, or if you prefer, resting on your lap. And think about one thing that you're grateful for today, or maybe an idea of gratitude. Take whatever that is and bring it into your heart space, and let's all together chin towards our chest, just in gratitude of all this showing up today. Again, bring whatever you are grateful for into your heart space. And you can keep your chin towards your chest or have your eyes open or closed, gazing forward as I end with our traditional sayings. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for back care. I'm going to stop the recording now.